Late one night, a woman was sitting at a table inside a dimly lit venue. The room beyond her was almost completely dark. After sensing something across the room, she slowly raised her camera toward the shadowed displays. Beneath the chandelier, a pitch-black head-like shape comes into view from behind the display. Two pale, eye-like points appear to stare directly toward the camera, while the rest of the supposed figure remains completely hidden in darkness. The moment the staring shape becomes clearly visible, the camera suddenly jerks away, as though the woman has finally realized that something is watching her. The mysterious shape could be another person crouching behind the display, or a dark object gradually revealed by the changing camera angle. The supposed eyes may simply be reflections from the surrounding lights, and a staged scare cannot be ruled out. But the featureless black face and its two pale eyes create the disturbing appearance of something silently watching from across the room. So, was this merely an ordinary object concealed in the darkness? Or did the woman capture a shadowy presence staring directly back at her? Late one night, someone went downstairs and stood in front of the open refrigerator. The rest of the house was almost completely dark. As the camera slowly turned away from the light and toward the rooms behind them, nothing initially appeared unusual. But the brief recording had captured something they seemingly failed to notice.
Don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you
Look inside the dark hallway. A pale, human-like figure appears to be peeking around the corner. What resembles a head and part of an upper body can be seen leaning from the darkness, while the rest of the supposed apparition remains completely concealed. The figure remains visible for only a fraction of a second before the moving camera carries the hallway out of frame. The filmer shows no immediate reaction and continues searching the darkness, apparently unaware that something may have been watching from behind them. Whatever happens during the final seconds causes the camera to suddenly drop before turning back toward the refrigerator. However, the hallway is never shown again. The ghostly shape could be a reflection, hanging clothing, or an ordinary object distorted by darkness and motion blur. Because the camera immediately pans away, the footage never clearly shows the figure entering or retreating. But its pale, face-like appearance and the way it seems to lean from behind the hallway corner are deeply unsettling. So, did the camera briefly transform an ordinary object into something human? Or was a ghostly figure silently peeking into the kitchen? Quincy came across what appeared to be an ordinary live photo of several people posing together outside at night. Nothing seemed unusual when the image was viewed normally. But after the brief recording was slowed down, something disturbing became visible in the darkness behind them. Look behind it on the red chair. As the live photo begins fading into darkness, a large pale shape appears on the grass and moves through the background. It passes directly behind her, yet nobody in the group seems to notice it. The mysterious form appears pale and almost transparent. Its outline changes rapidly as it crosses the frame, making it impossible to determine whether it has arms, legs, or any recognizable face. Within seconds, it becomes lost in the darkness behind the seated woman. The shape could be a person or animal, distorted by low light, motion blur, and the live photo's processing. The gradual darkening of the image may have made an ordinary moving subject appear unnaturally transparent, but whatever crossed the background was apparently close to the group, and not one of them visibly reacted. So, did this live photo merely distort something ordinary moving through the darkness, or did it capture a ghostly presence passing silently behind them? Late one night, Dino began moving through his home with a bundle of burning sage, apparently attempting to cleanse the property of an unwanted presence. Room by room, he allowed the smoke to drift through the silent hallways. But the darkest part of the house still remained untouched, a basement hidden behind a closed door.
Come on, man. Shit. I know, bud. I'm not afraid, man.
Dino eventually reaches the entrance leading beneath the house. Beyond the doorway, the narrow staircase disappears into suffocating darkness. But before he can turn on the light, his camera briefly captures something standing downstairs.
Come on out, man.
Look carefully into the darkness at the bottom of the stairs. For only a fraction of a second, a tall, shadowy figure appears to be standing inside the basement. Its body is almost completely swallowed by blackness, yet what resembles a pale face can be seen staring up toward Dino. Then the light comes on, and the disturbing figure is nowhere to be found. Dino seems completely unaware of what his camera has just captured. With the stairway now illuminated and apparently empty, he continues downward, unknowingly moving toward the exact place where the mysterious figure had been standing only seconds earlier.
Oh, yes. Yes. Hello.
After finding no one inside the basement, Dino finally turns back toward the staircase. But whatever had been hiding in the darkness does not appear ready to let him leave so easily.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Without warning, the open door at the top of the staircase begins moving. No one can be seen standing near it, yet it swings across the entrance and slams shut, sealing Dino inside the basement with whatever may have been lurking below. The figure may have been an ordinary object obscured by darkness, while the door could have closed because of airflow, an uneven hinge or movement elsewhere in the house. But the sequence is deeply unsettling. Before Dino enters the basement, a motionless human-shaped presence appears to be waiting at the bottom of the stairs. And after he walks directly into the same darkness, the only exit suddenly slams shut above him. Perhaps Dino's cleansing ritual did not remove the presence inside his home. Perhaps it only angered it. So, was this merely an eerie combination of shadows and coincidence? Or did something downstairs reveal itself before deliberately trapping Dino in the basement? While staying at a quaint bed and breakfast in Vermont, Amanda unknowingly entered the room believed to be the most haunted in the building. She went inside alone, expecting nothing more than an ordinary guest room, but it was not long before the silence surrounding her began to feel disturbingly alive.
Oh, wow, okay. Hello. I'm Amanda. Guess I'm here alone. But I'm going to be heading home soon, so I figured I'd come over and say hello. If there's anyone here.
Amanda slowly searches every corner of the dimly lit room. The bed is empty, the doorway remains clear, and no one can be seen hiding among the furniture. She then places a paranormal device nearby and waits, hoping that if an unseen presence is sharing the room with her, it might finally make itself known.
If there's anything you'd like to say, feel free. Thought I heard something over there.
The strange tapping appears to come from somewhere inside the room, yet every time Amanda turns toward it, she finds nothing. The room remains visibly empty, but the unexplained noises make it seem as though something unseen is moving around her, always remaining just beyond the camera's view.
I'm going to stop the recording. A weird deja vu.
After hearing what resembles breathing inside the empty room, Amanda retrieves the device and faces the dark bookcase. For several tense seconds, nothing happens. Then a faint voice appears to break through the static with a chilling command. The device appears to whisper, "Go back." Almost immediately, the sound of a book striking the floor breaks the silence.
Oh, Jesus.
Before Amanda can recover, another book seems to pitch forward from the shelf, even though no one is standing anywhere near it. The tapping could have come from old pipes or settling timber. The breathing may have been Amanda's own breath, and the alleged warning could have been nothing more than radio interference. Even the books may have been resting unevenly near the edge of the shelf, but the timing remains deeply unsettling. Seconds after a disembodied voice seemingly orders Amanda to go back, the silence is shattered as the books begin falling around her. So, was this merely a series of disturbing coincidences, or did something inside that haunted room warn Amanda to leave before forcing her out? Haley had only just returned home when she discovered that a door she normally kept closed was mysteriously standing open. Because she had cats inside the house, Haley was certain she would never have left it that way. Fearing that someone might have entered while she was gone, she began recording before cautiously investigating.
I just got home, and the door to my house is frickin' open.
Haley cautiously pushes through the entrance and examines the silent room beyond. Nothing appears disturbed, and no footsteps or voices can be heard, but another door inside remains slightly open.
This door is never shut like that because I have cats.
Despite the growing feeling that something is wrong, Haley slowly pulls the door open. Beyond it lies a pitch-black storage area crowded with shoes, hanging clothes, and stacked belongings, providing countless places for something to remain concealed. But look carefully toward the right side of the room. As Haley's camera passes across the darkness, what appears to be a pale, human-like face can be seen staring out from among the clutter. It remains completely motionless and vanishes from view only when the camera moves away. Most disturbing of all, Haley never reacts. She continues examining the room as though nothing is there, seemingly unaware that the face-like shape appeared only a few feet away from her. Whatever it was, it made no sound and showed no movement. It simply watched from inside the shadows. The disturbing shape could have been an ordinary object, a bag, or several belongings forming the illusion of a human face in the poor lighting. The haze and movement of the camera may have made its features appear far more lifelike than they truly were. But if it was only clutter, why does it resemble a pale face silently watching from the exact room Haley was afraid to enter? And if it really was someone, or something, then Haley may have been right to believe that she did not return to an empty house. While working at a Subway restaurant, Stubby placed her phone nearby and recorded a short video of her cousin during an otherwise ordinary shift. The footage was eventually forgotten until it unexpectedly resurfaced in her Snapchat memories. But when Stubby watched the old recording again, she noticed something in the background that neither of them had seen while they were there.
Fran!
Nothing unusual appears to happen as Stubby's cousin walks past the camera. No customers or other employees can be seen anywhere behind her, but hidden along the front of the counter, something pale appears to be watching from a place where no one should have been. But look carefully inside the narrow darkness beneath the counter. A small, pale shape resembling part of a human face appears to be peering through the gap. Dark, eye-like markings seem to stare directly toward the camera, while the rest of the supposed figure remains completely concealed. More disturbing still, the face-like form is already visible before Strubby's cousin enters the frame. It remains perfectly motionless as she approaches, disappearing from sight only when her body blocks the counter. She passes within only a few feet of it, yet neither woman notices anything hiding behind them. Stubby only discovered the disturbing shape after the old recording returned through her Snapchat memories. At the time, neither she nor her cousin reacted to anything unusual, suggesting that whatever created the face was completely silent, or was never truly visible to them at all. The supposed face could be nothing more than an object inside the counter, a distorted reflection, or random shadows creating a deeply unsettling illusion. Its complete lack of movement may support an ordinary explanation. But if this really was a face, then someone, or something, was crouched behind the counter, silently watching the two women from only a few feet away. So, did Stubby simply discover a disturbing trick of light inside an old recording? Or did her forgotten video capture a paranormal presence that had been watching them throughout the entire shift? Late one night, someone reviewing their home security footage noticed something unusual outside. The recording shows two parked cars surrounded by snow, with no one else anywhere in sight. At first, the driveway appears completely ordinary, but what the camera captures moments later is difficult to explain. But then, from the darkness beyond the black vehicle, a pale, human-like figure emerges. It silently crosses behind the parked cars, moving along the snow-covered edge of the property before continuing toward the far side of the driveway. The shape appears to have a rounded head, shoulders, and an upper torso. However, no clear legs or walking motion can be seen beneath it. In several frames, the darkness behind the figure even seems visible through its body, giving it the unnerving appearance of an apparition gliding through the snow. The phone briefly moves away from the security footage, but when it returns only seconds later, the pale figure is gone, leaving nothing behind except the empty driveway and two motionless cars. The figure could simply be an ordinary person wearing light-colored clothing. Infrared overexposure, motion blur, and the low frame rate of the security camera may have created its ghostly appearance, while the snowbank or bushes could be concealing its legs. Recording the surveillance monitor with a phone also introduces additional glare and distortion. But the way the pale form emerges from complete darkness, crosses the property without a clearly visible stride, and then vanishes from sight, remains deeply unsettling. So, did the security camera merely distort an ordinary person passing outside, or did it capture a ghostly figure wandering through the snow? A group of friends were relaxing together beside an open window, overlooking a quiet stretch of grass and trees. Their conversation seemed completely ordinary until something outside suddenly caught their attention and brought the evening to an unsettling stop. The camera quickly turns away from the window and focuses on the trees across the grounds. At first, the area appears empty, but as the camera moves closer, something can be seen standing beneath the darkest part of the canopy. Hidden between the trees is a dark, human-like silhouette. A rounded head and narrow body appear to be visible beneath the branches, seemingly facing directly toward the open window. Yet throughout the recording, the mysterious figure makes no clearly visible movement. For the remainder of the footage, the friends keep the camera fixed on the same disturbing shape. It never walks away, turns its head, or reacts to being watched. It simply remains beneath the trees, completely motionless. According to the accompanying caption, the friends eventually went outside to investigate, but when they reached the trees, nobody was there. Even more disturbing, they claimed that after returning indoors, the same figure appeared to be standing in its original position once again. However, that part of the encounter was not recorded. The supposed figure could be a distant person, a small tree, or several branches forming a human-like illusion in the fading light. The darkness, camera shake, and digital zoom make its true shape impossible to determine. But if the friend's account is genuine, then whatever they saw disappeared when they approached, only to return after they retreated inside. So, was this merely a natural shape hidden among the trees, or something that wanted the group to know it was watching them?